Hi Dr. Ronnie, I'm Chong here. In this video, I will explain my business ethic assessment for Section 1 and Section 2. I will explain the main ethical issue and how I evaluate the AI response, how the question helped me develop my own judgment. For Section 1, I discussed the working condition in the fast fashion industry. At the beginning, I did not think the fast fashion itself was unethical. From my view, fast fashion exists because there is market demand. So, consumer get affordable clothes, company earn profit, and worker get job and income. So first, I saw it as an exchange. Different parties get something they need. However, after looking deeper in the AI response, I start to question on my own view. If a worker accept a job, does it automatically mean the working conditions are ethical? I don't think so. In the case, some workers face very long working hours, low wages, and unsafe conditions. This is where Kate humanity principle become important to my judgment. Workers are not only part of the production process, they are human beings, so companies should respect their dignity and should not treat them as a way to reduce costs or increase the profit. I also consider cultural differences. For example, people from development country may think a salary is very low, but in another country, the same amount of the money may have a different value. So I don't think we should judge everything only from our own culture and living standard. However, I realize that country or culture cannot justify everything. Such as workers should still have a basic safety, dignity, and protection from harm. Therefore, my final judgment is that fast fashion itself is not automatically unethical. Making profit is also not automatically wrong. The moral issue starts when a company increases profit by taking advantage from workers who have very limited choice, or when it fails to protect their basic safety. This discussion made me think more deeply about what a real choice actually. For Section 2, I select the Nestle Malaysia pollution case. Nestle Manufacturing was fined 90,000 for realizing the industrial influence above the permit limit into inland water. One important point was that the incident was described as an accident caused by human error. At first, this made me question whether an accident should reduce the company moral responsibility. My judgment is that intention matters, but it cannot be only factor. This is why the next round I asked whether Nestle had done enough to prevent the human error. For me, if the company already have a proper training monitor, but an unusual mistake still happen, I may judge the situation differently. But if the prevention measure were weak or did not exist, and this is saying human error is not enough. A large company should understand that people can make mistakes and have a system to reduce the risk. Later, I noticed that AI responds strongly in evidence. The article did not show the clear evidence, so specific people become sick or lost their income or damage. So the environment harm may not always be immediately visible. Some effect may appear later. Therefore, paying a fine should not automatically mean the moral problem is solved. The company may still have a responsibility to monitor the environment, prevent the problem from happening again, and repair the harm when it's found. So in round 7, I look at the issue through the tragedy of the common. Nestle get private benefit from a product, and such as the profit, but environment risk may share be the public. So from NEGA 2024 helps support this idea about shared environment resources and negative effect. My concern was about fairness. A company should not keep the benefit while simply passing the environment cost to the society. In the next round, I consider justice and the human right to a healthy environment. So Georgia 2025 helped to support this part of my thinking. I asked whether job profit and the cheaper production can justify the environment risk. I don't think the answer is simply yes or no. Business activity can create the economy benefit, and also the environment impact may happen. So we need to compare the benefit and the harm. For me, the important question is the risk necessary? Can it be reduced? Who can get a benefit? Who carry the burden. So the last part, I changed my thinking the most. I start to think about people facing poverty. A poor worker may choose income over environment production because the food, housing, healthcare, or education for their kid. So may important at the moment. So the Harris 2015 helped me understand how social and the economy inequality can increase the vulnerability. I still believe the poor people have autonomy. We should respect their choice, but having a choice does not always mean having many good choice. Therefore, companies should respect people's decision, but they should not take advantage of the condition that limit their choice. Overall, this assessment changed the way I look at business ethics. At first, I focused more on the individual choice. I thought that if both sides agree to an exchange, it could be fair. But now I understand that if I also need to look at the condition behind the choice, the difference in power and who actually suffer the harm. I still believe business can profit are not unethical, but companies should more profit without ignoring human dignity, fairness, and environment responsibility. That's all for me. Thank you.